Good morning from Groovy Eggs Farm. I'm Jeff. Today is Monday. Yes, it is Monday. It's about 11:30 in the morning. I am about to head out for the day. I wanted to leave at 10, but things happen. Man, it was low 40s when I woke up. It's I think it's mid 50s right now. We should hit mid 60s, but a couple nights of freezing temperatures may be on the way. Yeah, busy day today. I am headed up to the old place, do a little work. I was hoping to get there sooner so I'd get a lot of work done, but I'll take a little bit of work up there at the old place. I'm gonna stop by the 41.36, go visit Country Road Cure and their chickens. I'll tell you about that when I get there. Then on the way home, I want to go through Boonville. What was that? Something buzzing in my ear. I hope it wasn't a wasp. Yeah, on the way home, I want to go through Boonville. I need chicken feed, so hit up the Tractor Supply and also hit up the Walmart while I'm there. Last night, all of my chickens are, they're cooped up. Everybody's cooped up today. Last night I did some extra work I wanted to leave, anyway, something always comes up, and I'd rather be taking a nap right now, but life goes on. Yeah, everybody's food and water, got them all done last night. I still had to take care of all the baby chicks this morning, and yeah, so I am out of here. I'll probably check in from the old place, and then I'll see you over at the 41.36. All right, I said earlier I was coming over here. I came over, we conquered and delivered, but I came over for some roosters.
Yep.
Yeah. You got your chicks from me beginning of April.
Yep. Yeah. April 1st, I think, is when they hatched.
Right.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of April. It's good to remember. But that means the roosters are of age.
Yeah.
They've been of age.
Yeah. And I've been watching your journey with that, and so I'm like, all right, we need to do something. So I came up here today. We got nine of their extra roosters. I'm taking them down to my place until processing day, which will be coming up. They have some, I have some, very similar age. So we're gonna put some food in the freezer.
Yes,
oh yeah, I'm excited.
In the meantime, you've had a time of it. I've got an extra coop and space, so.
Yeah, but I appreciate it, Jeff. Since he
Yeah.
does have an extra coop, he can spread them around. And
Yeah.
I mean, we have, if you guys seen it all, but we have like 5 roosters that refuse to come out of the roosting bar because they're getting picked on so bad. And so that's why Jeff's like, hey, I can take them and help them out for a little bit until
let
it's
them roam around.
processing day, so they get something.
They're either come down to my place now or, you know, 2 whatever weeks from now. So it worked out good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sure they're going to appreciate it too, some of them.
Well, for the next week and a half. Anyway.
Yeah, some of these, the black copper Morans. What's his name?
Paul.
He formerly
Peggy.
Peggy became a Paul.
Yep.
But Paul is a nice black copper Morans rooster. So I'll be hanging on to him for olive acres, or we'll see how he developed. You also have 2 whiting true blue purebreds in there that I have my eye on. So those 2 I might save for my own breeding program also. And then I've got olive acre roosters, so I'll trade you meat for the for those breeding purposes.
It works out perfect.
Yeah, some of these will be a big benefit to me in the future, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I would hate to see Paul, the black copper Moran, go to the processing day when he's such a good-looking rooster, I think.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
And he's big.
His only problem was he was too nice.
Yeah, that's his problem.
And that's what I like in roosters, is nice ones. So.
You like him? He's very sweet. You don't even try to fly away. You just go right and pick him up, and he's very docile.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Hey, nice guys finish last.
That's right. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it, bud.
All right, I'm out of here, and they got some video of us catching the rooster. So you want to check out Country Road Cure at their upcoming videos, and should be some fun.
Oh, it was fun.
Good times.
All right, I'm off to town. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, bud.
All right, I made it home before dark. I got the 9 roosters back there. So, yeah, tonight it's going to be dark here for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to go put some more comfortable pants on. Helps me hop over these fences. But yeah, the boys and Boss Hog, the Suburban there, will be dispersed. And I'm keeping some of those, the black copper Morans and 2 of the white and true blues at least, and then I've got my own fraternity boys flock, so some of those boys I'm keeping also. So I'm going to put all of my keepers in the same fraternity boys flock, and then the extra roosters are going to go into their own coop, and I will be doing all of that after dark. So I've probably got close to 20 roosters I'm going to have to shuffle around tonight. So I better stop gabbing. That's going to be it for today. I will catch you guys in the morning. This will still be the same video. But yeah, I'll catch up with you in the morning. It is now about 5:30 on Wednesday night, and I finally got a free minute to sit down and talk about what's been going on. Oh yeah, okay, Monday went to Country Road Cure and picked up 9 of their roosters, brought them back down here. I also stopped at my old place, filled a few boxes, put it in the, I don't even remember if I got any footage of that. That's what happens when I don't edit right away, is I forget which footage I have. But, yes, Monday, got back here Monday night after dark, had those 9 roosters, and I dispersed them after dark. So I already had a fraternity boys flock. I had 13 boys in there. 3 of those boys are like my extra. I've got a Welsomer and 2 white and true blues, and those I wanted to keep. The other 10 in there are all olive eggers, Easter eggers. They're white and true blue Morans hybrids, so I don't use those for breeding. I use those for tacos. And I've got an empty flock right here. So, and there were 9 that I got from Country Road Cure. Some of those, I'm going to trade the 10 olive eggers that I use for tacos. I'm going to trade some of those, some of my meat birds for 3 or 4 of Country Road Cure's roosters that I would like to keep for my breeding program. He had Paul, black copper Moran's rooster. I'm going to keep him around. And then there are 2 whiting true blues. Then there are 3 white and true blue roosters that Country Road Cure raise that I'll be considering keeping around for my breeding program. And so I'll make sure they get get the meat birds. So, but we'll see about that. All right, so I had 9 roosters from there. I got 13 here already. I had 4 black copper marans in another flock that were coming of age. They are Paul's younger brothers. They're like 2-3 weeks younger than him, but they were just, yeah. So I needed somewhere to put them and get them out of their flock. So I was at 17 and 9. So I had 26 roosters. I've got 2 chicken coops and runs to give them. And how I separated them was my original fraternity boys flock. There was the 2 white and true blues, the Welsomer, and the 10 olive eggers, 10 meat birds, I'll call them. But so I took the Welsomer out of there. He was the beta. So one of my white and true blues is like 2 years old, and he's got long spurs, and he was the top alpha rooster in there. The Welsomer was number 2 underneath him, and that's one good thing. Yeah, I could go on forever. Anyway, I left the alpha in there. I put the beta in the new one. Hopefully they keep the peace. And first thing yesterday morning, that's why I didn't have any time, but yesterday morning, man, they were fighting. That's the thing, you put them in there after dark, but first thing in the morning, they're gonna start fighting, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. And, you know, Country Road Cure, they've got a different setup. They can't fly, you know, more than like 4 feet in the air. So once they got here, and as soon as a chase started happening, woo, they were taking off and flying over my fences, and yeah, which is a good thing, you know, if 2 or 3 of the roosters were ganging up on one of them, they were able to escape. They were able to fly out and run around, and so there was no big, you know, there were skirmishes all morning long. They were flying everywhere. One of the roosters flew further than I have ever seen a rooster fly before. And so, but you know, that I chase them back in. What I have choke points with my fences. I'll have, you know, where 2 flocks where the fencing meets, I'll have the fences meet up, so I can chase them around that fence because they're trying to get back to home. I can chase them around that fence with my net. They hit that choke point, and I can snag them really easily. So it wasn't a big deal chasing the roosters around. The one thing I have to be careful of is them getting into another flock and impregnating hens that I don't want them getting on. So I had to keep an eye on them all day yesterday. But by the afternoon, things had pretty much died down except for one rooster. Sorry about the wind noise. I do not have my wind filter on, but I'm not walking all the way back to get it. But I wanted to show you this. This is the old coop that was here when I bought the place. And it's kind of separated. There is a door down there where you can get in between the 2 sections. But this door was open, and 2 of the roosters got in there. Yeah, you cooped yourself in, buddy. I didn't put you in here. You found your way in here all by yourself. And this guy did too. He's the troublemaker. Yes, you are. You are the troublemaker. So this guy on the left was, he was chasing another cockerel. And the other cockerel went flying over the fence. And this guy went flying over after him. And so, yeah, I was chasing around roosters all morning, but they ended up cooping themselves up. So I just closed the door, and they can stay in here until now, when I'm gonna catch them and try to put them back into their flock. All right, I got this guy. The other guy went flying. He is a whiting true blue. He looks very similar to Larry's other brother, Daryl. Might be his grandson, as a matter of fact. He does not have the beard going on, but he is a nice little, he's a nice looking white and true blue, but his temperament may not make the cut. But I was planning on at least keeping him around for a little bit and you know, assessing what kind of a rooster he is. He's not a very nice one if he's chasing the other boys. And okay, I'm going to put him back into this flock right now, and we'll see what happens. It's nice having other options, so if this doesn't work out, if he's just not getting along, I've got somewhere to keep him. I originally put him in there, and he just didn't get along with anybody. He was chasing two of the guys around consistently, but then my established guys that were already in there were then chasing him because he's causing a ruckus, and they didn't like that, so they start chasing him, and he's chasing the other ones, and they're flying out, and then he gets chased and he flies out, and so he was a little troublemaker. I tried him out in the keeper flock, and he was just constantly chasing Paul and one of the white and true blues, and so he just he's homeless, so I put him back in that coop that was here when I bought the place, and he's just going to be by himself. Well, he was today. I'll try him again tomorrow. I'll put him in the freezer camp flock tomorrow, and we'll see if he chills out. If not, that's one good thing is I've got extra places. If somebody was getting picked on too bad, or like this guy just can't get along with anybody, then I have options to take care of that situation. So with him out of the picture, this my keeper flock, man, it was smooth sailing all day. Paul is loving being around his younger brothers. He was soaking up the sun yesterday, and that was good to see. And you know, they're just yeah, no problems in there. The Welsomer is an older one. He's about 2 years old. So he's keeping the peace. So this morning I let all the boys out, and there were a couple of them that flew. They were getting chased, and so they flew over the net. And you know, as long as they're not landing in another flock, I'm okay with that. And once I see them, you know, they get hungry and thirsty, so they start wandering back up towards the fence. And once they're close to that fence, I can grab my net, I can chase them into one of my choke points and get them back in. So it wasn't a big deal. But little skirmishes, them chasing each other, I'm probably getting footage of that right now. A lot of that happening today, but no big fights. It really helps that I have a big area back there. Let's see, there's 17 boys in there right now. They can run all the way around the coop. There are trees all over the place. They can get out of eyesight, and a lot of times that happens. They can also get lost in a crowd. So if one of them's being chased, and there's 4 or 5 roosters, you know, standing around over there, and one of them's getting chased, well, he'll run into that group, and then, you know, that. So there's chasing going on, but it ends pretty quickly when the boy getting chased can get out of sight, or can, you know, zigzag in and out of trees. So they're going to be good here for, you know, a couple weeks until harvest day, and things are good except for that one boy. And it's not a big deal to keep a rooster by himself. It's not ideal, but he's better off there, and I'm better off with him there for now. You know, a lot of breeders out there, especially the game birds, the game chickens, they keep roosters separate and alone. You'll see these big yards where every rooster is, they actually put them on leashes. And so, and then they only introduce that rooster to the hens every so often to fertilize the eggs. So, you know, unfortunately in the breeding world, there's a lot of lonely roosters, but they're glad that they're still alive, and they're glad that they still get to get with the ladies every once in a while. That ended up being a very busy day for me. You know, nothing I haven't been through. But the freeze last night, I woke up this morning, it's 25 degrees at 7 a.m. Before the sun had come out. It was 24 degrees, actually, I think. And we're up to about 60. It was 60 a little bit early. It's probably cooling down. But with the freezing overnight temps, I had to prepare. Yeah, I wasn't too worried about, you know, freezing pipes or anything like that. I put one of my heaters in the well house, so that was all cool. Winter is coming, and I am prepared thanks to tons of helpers. My last 2 birthdays ago, built this nice insulated water well house. There's a heat lamp, but I'm not going to use that this year because I've got something else to use this year. Oh yeah, look at that. That will definitely do the job, and we're all insulated. So, well house should be ready for winter. The thing that I have to worry about is everybody's water, all the chicken flocks water freezing. So I had extra preparations to do last night for that. What I did is at dark I empty all of their waters and collect them, and that way they're not frozen first thing in the morning. So, and then I put a bunch of water in the well house so that I had water to put in their waterers, so they had that this morning. So that was some extra work last night, and especially especially with all the babies' waterers too. Anyway, so I didn't have, then I was exhausted. I just did not have time to do editing. And then this morning, I'm out here babysitting. I got to make sure the roosters aren't getting into another flock and hopping on the wrong hen. I don't want the wrong combination baby chicks. And and I skipped my nap, and I'm drinking coffee, and I'm probably a little bit more wired than normal. And I'm wearing a bright yellow shirt because it was really cold this morning, and I grabbed whatever was on top. I don't care if when it's cold, I don't care if I match in the morning. And earlier I had red or maroon sweatpants on, so this was like the most awkward ensemble you could put together, but I didn't care. I grabbed whatever was on top when it was that cold this morning. I might as well keep gabbing while I'm out here for a few minutes. One thing, also again last night, right before dark, the boys get a little bit of frisky, and there's some chasing that goes on, right before bedtime. And so I needed to be out here babysitting them to make sure, the new guys, if they flew over the fence, they might not, they have bird brains. They know they don't remember that they flew over the fence. So when it's time to go to bed, they'll be pacing along the fence, and so you got to make sure they get back into bed at night. So I had to babysit them last night. I'm gonna have to babysit them again tonight to make sure everybody can get back into the fencing if they happened to get out of it. This is what I like to see. We are, it's probably a little after 6, so it's less than an hour until dark, but it looks like we've only got 5 boys out right now, and that means the rest of them probably went to bed. So that is good news for me, because that means there's not going to be much chasing, and I won't have to be wrangling escaped roosters. So I might as well keep on talking, and I can talk about, this fraternity flock business, keeping boys together. It's everybody's situation is different. I would not advise people to do this without, planning ahead of time and, really thinking about it. One thing is, when I first brought them down here, is I waited until dark, and then that's when I put them into the coops with the existing roosters. And that's good advice, but it's only half good advice. The thing is, you put them in at night, and they're not going to fight at night because they're, sleeping, as far as that goes with chickens. But first thing in the morning, they're going to start fighting again. And that goes for putting hens together too. Introducing them to each other after dark is a good idea, but be there first thing in the morning, because that's when the fighting is going to start. You don't want them, in their coops right away. And that goes for both hens and roosters. They're going to fight first thing in the morning. So I got out here before dark. I opened the door to their coop. So as soon as they started waking up for the morning, they could escape. They're not trapped in their coop with a bunch of other bullies. So I did that first thing. and that really does help. If you're introducing chickens to each other, yes, do it at night, but be prepared first thing in the morning to let them out so that they can escape when the fighting does start. What else can I tell you? I left an alpha white and true blue in one flock, and I put the number 2 Welsomer in the other flock. I think having an older, experienced rooster with longer spurs can help, calm. I wouldn't say calm it. It can help squelch a little bit of the fighting. They're, they may square up to fight that older rooster, but they take a look at those spurs and they're like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I need to chill out here. And I think that does help when you're introducing roosters, is to have one that's established and that's going to take charge and is not going to let anybody, overtake them. So there's a lot of little skirmishes, but having the more experienced ones. That dude is the Welsomer. He's the top rooster in here. And I think it helped today that it was cold, that they don't have as much energy. They are just trying to stay warm. So I've got one of the white and true blues I'm evaluating is over there. That's a Welsomer. We got 3 black copper Marans in the doorway there. Paul is on the right. Got another black copper Marans here. And then that's another white and true blue. There's another black copper Marans somewhere. He might be in the coop. But yeah, these guys have been no problem at all once I got that troublemaker out of here. This white and true blue, this is my keeper flock. He was getting picked on a little bit, but and this run isn't as big, but it's still big enough. They can go all the way around the coop. There's some trees in here. There's some brush, some more trees, and so he was able to get away and get out of sight, and now it seems they're accepting each other. So yeah, they're just lounging around now before dark. Also, not doing one rooster. By me having, let's see, there were 12 in there, and then I put 5, 6 more in there. They can blend in with the crowd. If you just put one new one in there, well, everybody's going to focus all of their attention on that one new guy. And same goes with hens. You want to introduce more than one. So in this case, I was introducing 5 of them to 12 that were already there. And a lot of them look alike because they have the same parents. So I think that really helps if you're going to merge hens or roosters together, is the more the merrier. So if I'm introducing 5 into a flock of 12, it's going to be a little bit easier than if you only do 1 or 2, where all of that attention is going to go to the new folks. What other tips can I give you? Having plenty of space. That is a big thing for me to even keep these fraternity boys. Getting out of eyesight. Being able to run around the corner of the coop and being able to get away. Having plenty of space. When they're getting chased, they'll take off flying and they can get pretty far away in a hurry. So that's another thing that helps, is having a big enough chicken run for them to not get cornered in. It can still happen. It will still happen. But yeah. Another thing that helped was I left the fences on. So yeah, there was a lot of shocking going on yesterday. I shouldn't laugh about that. It doesn't hurt them. It shocks them, but it doesn't hurt them. But they learn right away. Well, not right away, but eventually throughout the morning they learned, oh, don't fly into that net don't fly into that fencing when you're getting chased, because you're going to get zapped. So that, once they started learning the fence, that's when the flying over the fence kind of stopped, because they didn't always make it, and some of them were flying right into the fence and getting shocked, and so they knew either don't fly that direction or fly higher. What other tips can I give you? I guess that's about it as far as merging flocks go. It's not recommended for everybody. You really do need to pay attention the first couple days to make sure nobody is getting singled out and bullied, because they will bully the new chickens to their end, and that's not a good thing. I've always had, and I've seen that happen too, where 3 or 4 will gang up on one and just constantly pick on them. I've always been in a situation where I could take that one and put it into a brooder or another coop and take care of it that way. So that's another piece of good advice, is have a backup plan for if it doesn't work. And you know, you can keep trying. You know, try it a couple days later if it doesn't work, and maybe they'll chill out a little bit. Like that dude who's alone back there, he might chill out being by himself for a couple days, and I'll be able to introduce him into that freezer camp flock. But all right, that's all I got now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything, and take care. And there were 2. That's right. That's right. Go on to bed. Go on to bed, boys. You're the last 2. They aren't listening to me. And the problem is, if I went in there to try to chase them in the door, then half the others would probably come running out. Oh, yeah, there you go. Follow the other guy. That's where you got to go to bed tonight. Oh, I might look out. That dude sees a girl on the other side of this fence, though. Girl! Oh, and now he's coming back